Since 1996, I have volunteered with the All Taxa Biodiversity Inventory, or ATBI, a project of Discover Life in America, which is working to inventory the estimated 100,000 species of living organisms in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I travel each month to the Smokies to photograph and document the work of the scientists, and I have been in awe of the educational potential of the ATBI. Last year, as a board member of the Friends of the North Carolina Nature Center, I persuaded the center to implement its own ATBI. I identified a willing high school science teacher, Martha Cowan. I persuaded the Friends to enlist the participation of local biologists and naturalists, and we then embarked on a 2-week educational experiment. Our goal was to use the center's Trillium Trail to teach hands-on biology. 3 college professors, 5 Southern Appalachia naturalists, 2 volunteers, 2 high school science teachers, and the Western North Carolina Nature Center all got involved, and the students came alive. A strong partnership and a very successful learning experience. I invite each of you to explore what you can do with your local scientists, teachers, students, and volunteers to search for species and bring biodiversity into clear focus for the young. Using the ATBI can excite and expand students' minds and bring home the importance of biodiversity. Please use this video as your roadmap. If each of us does their part, then maybe this precious biodiversity can be safely passed to future generations.
Here we are teaching biology from a textbook. So when the opportunity came along to take the students to the real biology classroom, I jumped on it. The original goal was to inventory the diversity at the Nature Center. While we accomplished much of that, another goal became just seeing these students come alive.
6 legs, but the caterpillars that are in the moths and butterflies have special kinds of legs in the back and by the abdomen called legs with those little hooks on.
So you've got a silkworm.
The first day was an introduction to the ATBI by Dr. Paul Bartels, professor of biology at Warren Wilson College, who challenged the class to protect, learn about the environment, and get involved.
One of the ulterior motives of any ATBI, this one, the one in the Smokies, or this one, is to excite and expand people's minds, especially young people's minds, about the importance of this, the importance of biodiversity, how ignorant we are about it. We don't know everything out there. We know very little of what's out there. And hopefully getting a few people turned on to it so that they start studying it and go into those kinds of careers, because this is huge.
After that, learning was all hands-on in the woods. At first, many of the students were uncomfortable in their new surroundings. They wore sandals as they tromped through the weeds and long sleeves in hot, humid weather, and screaming about spiders.
It's a spider. It's a spider about that big.
Oh, right, there you go. Your teacher.
Good thing we're not looking for spiders.
Oh my God.
But by the end of the 2 weeks, they had become true scientists of nature. They waded into the river and screened for aquatic invertebrates. They dug pitfall traps, hunted mushrooms, and laid out transects in deep vegetation. They listened for birds, identified plants, and swept the forest floor for insects. They mastered a taxonomic key, shoveled leaf litter, and strained to identify its treasure trove of microscopic organisms. Over the days, they progressed from disinterested spectators to intrigued observers and finally intense investigators of the forest. The forest finally came alive for them, and their transformation was complete.
realize there was so much in nature. Like we went out, and, I mean, normally you walk out in the woods and you just see trees and stuff. But when we did it, there's so much little stuff you don't even see, don't even realize is there.
It was a really nice forest to have here within the city limits of Asheville. We want to thank you for coming out and help us work on this so we can use the information that you gather to interpret this to the public.
That's a little tiny one. Oh, beautiful! Oh man, you've got a beauty there.
You're the star for the day.
You're the star for the day.
Fantastic.
Originally, it was, yippee, we're outside. We're having fun. We're running around out in the woods and we don't know where our teacher is. And then a scientist would appear and help them with actually doing science the way it should be done. And by the end of the 2 weeks, a healthy respect for the ATBI process developed, and the final day, it all came together. It was so amazing. We actually brought in soil samples and had an arthropod biologist in the classroom. We were able to project some images using the internet and a data projector, and then all of a sudden the students found those same organisms in their microscope.
Okay, are they on the surface?
Oh, okay. Suddenly, the yippee, we're outside became an aha moment that we live in an area that is just covered with life.